MENA Museum of Immersive New Art, and the kids had an amazing time exploring the creative works of art. Next, we went to Antipa Museum of Natural History, where we marveled at the butterflies and learned a lot about the world around us, things you just don't come across in everyday life. And if that wasn't enough, Romania surprised us until the very moment we left. At the airport, I met Alina Tarom, who became our last-minute saver. With her help, I saved on some luggage fees and made it to my flight to the UK, all because we decided to become friends right there at the airport. Romania taught me 3 important lessons. Don't be afraid to make new connections. They can be life-changing. Savor every moment and enjoy the journey. And number 3, the last but not the least, there's always something new to learn about history. As you can see, this trip wasn't about visiting new places. It was about connecting with people, deepening relationship, and soaking in the history of beauty of every moment. Denmark and Romania, the first 2 of the 4 countries, both gave me so much more than I expected. There were so many adventures and stories along the way. But there's one particular moment in Italy that truly made the entire trip unforgettable. And that's why I'm here to share with you today. One day in Italy, I found myself in a shopping center called Tossano, located in a small town called Thiene. I was with a family member, and as we were ready to check out, we noticed an Italian lady behind us in a line with 3 items. I nudged my family member and said, "We should let her go ahead of us. She only has a few items." My family member agreed, and we both turned to her and said, "Please go ahead of us." At first, she hesitated and replied, "Thanks, but I have all the time in the world today. It is my day off from work." We insisted a couple of times, and eventually she agreed to go ahead. That small gesture opened up a conversation, and she asked, "Are you American or Brazilian?" I laughed and said, "American, how did you know?" She smiled and responded, "Your mannerisms and the way you carry yourself." Then she said something that completely took me by surprise. "Would you like to come to my place for a cup of coffee? I have a son who's learning American English and he would love to meet you." We exchanged contact information, and 2 days later, I found myself at her home, ready for that cup of tea. The moment I walked in, I could feel the warmth. It was welcoming and it was a safe space. We sat down, and along with her son and my cousin, we ended up talking for 2 hours. Yes, 2 hours. We shared stories about life, culture, and even my childhood. She asked about my background, and I told her I was born and raised in Italy until I had to relocate to the US at the age of 15. Then I shared with her something even more personal, the story of my adopted Italian grandparents. These amazing people had helped my parents when they migrated from West Africa to Italy. They did not know the language or anyone, and life was a struggle. My adopted grandparents stepped in and gave my family the support we needed during a critical time. It was through their care that I became the person I am today. As I shared this story with my new friend, Lucia, she became visibly moved. She explained that she had lived in Thiene her whole life and had strong connections in the community. Without hesitation, she told me, "I have faith that I can help you reconnect with your lost family." I was blown away. Here I was in a home of someone I had just met, and she was ready to go above and beyond to help me find my long-lost family. She immediately grabbed a pen and paper and started taking notes. Time frames, addresses, every detail. Her confidence in helping me was overwhelming. By the time I left home, my heart was full of gratitude. I couldn't believe what had just happened. But the story doesn't end there. At 5:30 p.m. Italian time, we went about our business. Then exactly at 5:51, just 21 minutes later, Lucia sent out a beautiful message summarizing my story and the details about my lost Italian family. Exactly 11 minutes later, after Lucia sent out the message, at 6:02 p.m., someone reached out to her. They knew the family I was looking for and asked Lucia to message them privately for more information. We were both in complete shock. Could this really be happening? Sure enough, it was. The person who reached out knew the family directly. And as Lucia messaged them, we realized that it was, in fact, the family I had been searching for. While my adopted grandparents had passed away, their daughter, whom I had been very close to, was still alive. She remembered me and my sister, and in that moment, everything fell into place. It was a reunion 20 years in the making, all because of one simple act of kindness. This experience is more than just a heartwarming story. It's a reminder that good people still exist. That connections, no matter how small they may seem, can lead to life-changing outcomes. Speaking of outcomes, here are some key lessons I learned from this experience. Small acts of kindness matter. A simple gesture like letting someone go ahead in the line can open doors to life-changing opportunities, just like how it happened to me. Connections are priceless. True connections, whether formed in minutes or over a decade, can have the power to transform our lives in unimaginable ways. There is good in the world. Lucia, a complete stranger, went above and beyond to help me reconnect with my long-lost family. Her kindness restored my faith in humanity. Sharing your story is powerful. Never underestimate the impact of sharing your story. It can inspire others to act, help, and connect. Hope is never lost. Even after 20 years, I found my Italian family, providing that hope combined with action can lead to miracles. Hello, everyone. I'm Henrietta Denny, the hearts behind A Chosen Generation, or as we fondly call it, A Chosen G. I was born and raised in Italy, and I am the child of West African parents who migrated from Ghana. Their journey taught me something so profound that true relationship is what will make you successful. When they arrived in Italy, they had no one really, they didn't know anyone. However, through the kindness of a few Italians who later became like family to us, we were able to make it in life. So that experience taught me that true success is built in deep connections. Later, we migrated to the United States of America, where I had the chance to encounter my own success and my own trials. A Chosen Generation emerged through a successful encounter with a mentor. He was the Vice President of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at the University of Akron. When we encountered, he illuminated a truth that true success is rooted in good connections. Prior to him, I have tried everything. But reaping very little reward. But the minute I encountered this man, all opportunities came flowing as if nothing ever happened. So then I said, there is something here that I need to experience. A Chosen G is a networking, fostering organization. When you join A Chosen G, you join a community of dreamers. We are here to support one another so that you can achieve your dreams. So when you join A Chosen G, you're gonna have connections worldwide. You're gonna receive professional coaching and mentorship, and tools to guide you every step of the way through your professional career. Well, join A Chosen G because we are here to ensure that you reach the sky, because the sky is the limit. And so we do not want to limit you. We want to provide the support for you to reach your destination. A Chosen G is a movement without bounds. Join us as we build connections and make the future.
Good morning. So excited and so overjoyed to be before you today. As you can see from this beautiful, this is a very intentional initiative, one that I'm very excited about. Making connections and building the future. One thing that I'm looking forward to today is the opportunity to experience personal and professional growth from peers, from other professionals, industry leaders, and experts. I'm just excited about all they're going to contribute to this room. I want to thank the sponsors, Shake Shack, Sam's Club, Nothing But Cakes, Cheddar's, Raising Cane's, and Costco. And I also want to encourage you to visit the vendor tables. I want to also tell you a little bit more about our founder, Henrietta Denny. She is one who transforms. She's a launching pad. I think that essentially there are so many people that are filled with so many gifts and just need an opportunity and need a launching pad. Her organization transforms how professionals connect and collaborate. Her passion for empowering individuals has helped build a chosen G, a chosen generation, into a platform that provides tools, insights, and resources to help members grow through meaningful, authentic relationships. Henrietta's journey began with her early research work while in high school at Ohio State University Department of Material Science and Engineering. Here she presented innovative work on nanoscale fibers. She earned her bachelor's degree in biomedical engineering from the University of Akron and later shifted to corporate technology, where she led cross-functional teams and implemented complex solutions. She also holds a double master's degree in ministry and business administration from Mount Vernon Nazarene University. Henrietta leads with authenticity and a commitment to building strong, supportive communities. Her focus on creating lasting connections has been the foundation for A Chosen G's success. A dedicated lifelong learner and mentor, Henrietta is passionate about helping others achieve their goals. Her leadership continues to drive A Chosen G's mission and impact. Before I bring our founder out, would everyone join me in prayer? Please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we come before you today. We thank you for this moment. We thank you for the yes given by Henrietta. We thank you for her intentional efforts. We thank you that you placed this burden upon her and that you provided her with the strategies to execute it. We thank you for every speaker. We thank you for everyone that showed their commitment as well and desired to be a part of this movement. I thank you for this generation that is really going to catapult other generations. I thank you for the initiative. I thank you for the intentionality. I thank you for the relationships that are going to be made. Thank you for every resource that will come forth. Have your way, God. In Jesus' name, amen. Now, without further ado, I introduce to you our chosen G, Miss Henrietta Denny.
Hello, everyone. Oh, sorry. Just wait. God bless you, Miss Ariel. That was beautiful. I was like, I did all of that. That's a lot. But I just want to give God the glory. He has brought me far. You see here, it's not a complete work. It is work in progress. But he has brought me far. Well, what to say about chosen generation? We're all a chosen generation. That's the beauty of it. We're all a chosen generation. Is this better? Okay, good. So we're all a chosen generation. We all come from different backgrounds. We have different stories. I'm sure if I were to pass the mic out to everyone, you'll have a powerful and colorful stories. In fact, my decorator used the Rubik's Cube to represent how different colors still keeps us united. Because that's what a chosen generation is about. None of us are perfect. I'm not. I have quite a complex background. If you hear a little bit about my story, my parents, hi mom and dad, if you're watching me, migrated from West Africa, Ghana into Italy. And when they migrated, mid 80s to early 90s, it was an adventure for them. But they were visionaries. One thing they were looking at is to make something of their lives, just do something better. And that's what kept them going. Through the hardship, through everything, they decided, I want to do something better for myself, for the community around us, and so forth. And so they are the reason why I'm here. They sowed a seed, and that seed of pushing hard and building community is the reason why I launched A Chosen Generation. Because you see, you may have all the accolades in this world, but without the right people at your corner, you're not going to go anywhere. I learned that the hard way. We keep saying God is on our side. You're right. But even Jesus Christ used 12 disciples to spread the gospel in the world. So we need connections. But not just any connections, authentic connections. People that understand who you are, people that are willing to see your vision, and they're willing to invest in your vision. And that's what A Chosen G is about here. It's not about this beautiful lady that you see here with the makeup and everything. I am here to tell you that I started from the rock bottom. From the rock bottom. But I'm here because people saw through me and said, Henrietta, I think you belong here, and I'll take you there. So one message I want you to take from this event. When I say make a connection, just be intentional about your connections. Don't just have what you want in your mind and make connection. Be intentional, because you never know where that's going to take you. And that's how we're going to build the future. Because we are living in the future. We are not living in the now. And so whoever you see here in the room, I just want to say, first of all, thank you very much for supporting this dream. It's been 12 years in the making, but we're finally here. And don't forget that you are a chosen generation. Thank you very much.
Can we give it up again for Henrietta? Such a beautiful story. And for someone who has struggled with launching things, struggled with my, feeling like that I can do it, this is really personal to me. I really appreciate your yes. I'm very grateful for this. I want to introduce our speaker. I'm so sorry. We are going to, I'm going to introduce the musical guest. So sorry. Give me 1 second to pull that information up. Dee Brown and Brittany Elise. Brittany Elise is a singer, songwriter from Tulsa, Oklahoma, deeply rooted in her faith in Christ. From a young age, she found her voice in the church and has since been driven by a longing to serve through worship and encouragement. Brittany's passion for music is evident in her desire to use her gifts to glorify the Lord and uplift others. She looks forward to expanding her ministry work and sharing her gift more frequently. Having collaborated with various local and renowned artists, Brittany's musical journey is marked by diversity and collaboration. Her upcoming music, set for release late 2024, congratulations, promises to further showcase her artistry and devotion to creating impactful music that resonates with listeners. Dee Brown. Is he already here? Hi, Dee. He is a dynamic artist, producer from Albuquerque, New Mexico. With a music career that has lasted over 15 years, Dee has a great passion for music and ministry and has a true heart for worship. With musical sounds inspired by gospel, R&B, and soul, he has moved many audiences with his vocal and instrumental gifts. Dee released his first album with Breakthrough in 2011 titled Jesus Never Fails, which touched many listeners as they traveled to share their gifts through song. In 2020, Dee released his single, Good Time, an upbeat, soulful groove bound to uplift listeners. Currently, Dee is working on an EP set to be released this May 2024. Congratulations. Featuring original music like Can't Turn, Good Time, and Count on You. Follow Dee Brown as he continues to strive to share his heart through music. Ladies and gentlemen, Brittany and Dee.
One, two, three, four.
Come on, where you at? Even from your home. Come on, dance with us. Girl, close your eyes. Let the rhythm get into you. Don't try to fight it. There ain't nothing that you can do. Relax your mind. Lay back and groove with mine. 'Cause when you feel that heat, and we can ride the boogie, share that beat of love. I wanna rock with you all night, dance you in today. I wanna rock with you all night, rock the night away.
Out on the floor,
Yeah.
there ain't nobody there but us. Girl, when you dance, there's a magic that must be love. Just take it slow, 'cause we've got so far to go. When you feel that heat, and we gon' ride the boogie,
Share that beat of love.
I wanna rock with you
All night.
dance you into day.
Sunlight.
I wanna rock with you
All night.
We gon' dance the night away.
And when the groove is dead and gone, yeah, you know that love survives, so we can rock forever. I wanna rock with you, I wanna groove with you. Hey. I wanna rock with you, I wanna groove with you.
Rock with you
All night.
dance you into day. I wanna rock
All night.
Go dance the night away. I wanna rock with you
All night.
dance you into day. I
Night.
wanna rock with you
All night.
We gon' dance the night away. Feel the beat, feel the heat. Yeah.
All night.
Dance you in today. I wanna And life is like a song. Oh, yes, at last. The skies above are blue. My heart was wrapped up in clover. The night I looked at you, I found a dream that I could speak to, a dream that I can call my own. I found a thrill to press my cheek to, a thrill that I have never known. And you smiled, yes you did. Oh, and then the spell was cast, and here we are in heaven. For you are mine at last. Come on, Emery.
This next song is a song I wrote. It's called Can't Turn. It's for the dreamers. Anybody that has like long-term goals, things you're trying to work towards, don't turn around. Somebody needs you out there. Thought I lost my way. I saw headlights shining on my face. and I knew I was headed the wrong way. Would I get to see another day? Oh Lord, oh Lord. But that light wasn't meant to make me crash. It would just illuminate my path. And now I see, 'cause I can't turn around. I walk through that door, reaching out for more. No, I can't turn around. I'll stay on my course till I see the shore. No, I won't turn around. Hey, no. I keep on moving forward. I won't turn around. Hey, I keep on moving forward. I won't. Hey, I spend so much time in my own way. I work so hard trying just to fall on my face, listen, but I can't walk away from destiny. It's more than a feeling it's meant to be. Hey, so much more. And I know I was made for more than this. Feels like the time to take that risk, and so I'll soar, 'cause I can't turn around. I'll walk through that door, reaching out for more. No, I can't turn around. I'll stay on my course until I see the shore. I won't turn around. Keep on moving forward. I won't turn around. Hey. I got to find a way. I've got too much to say. I've got too much to do. I'm gonna make it. You're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Yeah. Just keep on. I'm gonna keep on pressing. I'm gonna keep on fighting. I'm gonna keep on praying. Keep my faith in God. You can't make me doubt him. I know too much about him. I'll keep on, 'cause I can't turn around. I'll walk through that door, reaching out for more. No, I can't turn around. I'll stay on my course till I see the shore. Now I will turn around. Matter what it looks like, keep on moving forward. I won't turn around. No. Keep on moving forward. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Please give it up again for Brittany and Dee. My goodness, did y'all hear that vocal range? I mean, she can sing anything. It's just, she's very demure, very mindful, very versatile. Thank you for your performance. I'm going to introduce our first speaker, Dr. Rosa Githora. Dr. Githora is the Associate Director of Inclusion and Equity at the University of Akron and serves as the Director of Global Diversity and Inclusion for Stratus Group Consultants. As an independent consultant, she creates educational resources and training tools designed for global use. She has been a diaspora board member for the Center for Health Advocacy, Network Gender, and Education in Nairobi, Kenya since 1998. Dr. Gathora has held various leadership roles, including Interim Director of Women's Studies at the University of Akron, Assistant Director of Multicultural Initiatives at Case Western Reserve University, and Assistant Director at the Eberly Women's Center at the University of Toledo. She earned a PhD in Urban Studies and Public Affairs and a Master's in Public Education with a focus on nonprofit management, both from the University of Akron. She also holds a BA in Criminal Justice and Sociology from St. Francis University. An experienced educator, published author, and active member of professional organizations like AAUW, Dr. Gathora brings a wealth of expertise to her roles in diversity, equity, and inclusion. Will you please prepare your hearts and minds for Dr. Rosa Gathora?
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you very much, Henrietta and your team, for inviting me to come and speak with you here and to enjoy a Chosen G, which is a very important initiative that young Henrietta has been working on for a very long time. My presentation today is going to be on Ubuntu. Ubuntu is a Zulu tradition. We are one because we operate as one, we function as one. All right. And I have been asked to speak a little louder. Yes. So I'm originally from Nairobi, Kenya, and these are the institutions that I attended. I come from a very large family. Both on my mother and my father's side. We have about 10 generations on both sides. My current maternal grandmother is 104 years old, and I was blessed enough to spend some time with her this fall into early spring. Loreto Convent Valley Road, Loreto Convent Msongari are both Catholic schools. In the Catholic tradition, had the best educational system for the missionary schools in Kenya, and my family believes very heavily in education. Alliance Francaise and the Kenya School of Professional Studies came in after my high school. I did not necessarily have the grades that I needed to attend law school at the University of Nairobi. So I needed to do that bridge work. And while I was doing that bridge work with the linguistics, as well as at the Kenya Professional School of Studies, I was interested in criminal law and criminal procedure, which is what then led me to St. Francis University, Loreto, Pennsylvania, a very small village up in PA. I was there for the year 2000 to 2003. It was a very interesting learning experience, not knowing anything, not knowing anyone, being the only Kenyan, not understanding that a windbreaker is not a snow jacket, and not understanding many things. We say boot instead of trunk, hood, different things, language-wise, food-wise, culturally, and we'll speak about that here shortly. That became my journey. As I was watching Henrietta and listening to her, I had to adopt her after we came into the University of Akron, very special human to us. At the University of Akron is where I pursued my master's in public administration and my PhD in urban studies and public affairs. I've worked in corrections. day reporting as a case manager. I've also taught African dance, African history, and now I work in Title IX. I've also conducted international gender-based prevention violence training in Rwanda, Kenya, and now here. So if you think about your inclusive profile, we all come to the table with all of this: our national backgrounds, languages, race, ethnicity, our religious and spiritual backgrounds, our abilities, whether they are visible or not, our multiple socioeconomic class status, and our gender and how we orient ourselves. When we think about being equitable and creating an inclusive atmosphere that makes people feel that they belong, we've got to take all this into consideration. So for example, I think in 4 different languages at all times. So depending on who I'm speaking with, I'm thinking in that language and communicating as such. So you can imagine if I'm coming at you in a classroom and you're my professor, that is how I'm thinking. So how you present the material to me, I have to sift through what it is I'm being told. The way you learn Shakespeare is not the way I learn Shakespeare. The way you learn algebra is not the way I learned algebra. So my thought process is impacted even by my linguistic abilities. This is just how the University of Akron, which is currently where I am, as you heard, this was our journey. And just like with Henrietta, I have journeyed for the whole planet, essentially, leave multiple continents to wind up right back where we began, the University of Akron. So hint, hint, Henrietta. And Dr. Gill, one never knows. Ohio has a way of holding on to you. So just wanted to let you know just a snapshot of the things that the University of Akron is doing to help the student body and the administrators who take care of them and the faculty do a better job in creating a more welcoming environment. Mission and vision stewardship, you had Henrietta speaking intensively about the power of intentionality. And so we have to be very intentional in our multifaceted approach for how we do our work, how we conduct our outreach, how you network, how we process the different individuals who we are interacting with. You've got very beautiful musicians here that we heard from this morning. Maybe Dr. Gill or the University of Akron would like to have them come and be at a reception. You don't know how one network, one bridge will build another one. And that is what we learned, having worked with Dr. Gill. And of course, we always want to evaluate and assess and hold ourselves accountable for what it is we are holding near and dear to ourselves. As I said, I work in Title IX. I won't spend time reading much to you. It is a very legal component that I hold now as concerns any of these issues that come to us as cases that have to either be heard or if they come to an amicable decision, then they are dismissed. Gender misconduct is all these battery, sexual exploitation, indecent exposure. And Title IX constitutes all of those pieces there. There are times when the gender-based misconduct, there will be that, but it might not necessarily fit in Title IX. And so sometimes it's just making sure people understand educationally what is legal, Title IX, and what may be Title VII or something else. Working cross-culturally, as I said, you see, we have Henrietta, who is from Italy and Ghana. We have William right there. We have all of you as well from Kenya and Dr. Gill from South Bend, Indiana. We are all coming out with our own lenses. And so this was a particular initiative that actually Henrietta helped us with called Women Trailblazers. And we were honoring individuals across the spectrum, across all fields. And our student at that time has a profound deafness in one ear and could not hear from the other, and with a cochlear implant. She has now her PhD in audiology and serves as an audiologist for the state of Ohio. And she works with the faculty in the audiology department at the University of Akron because she started off with shot put and wrestling at the University of Akron and progressed like that. You don't know how your bridges are going to build themselves, you see. And that was Dr. Jasmine coming out of that simple event, an activity, which thankfully Henrietta helped us with. Take time to listen and learn. When we listen, we should listen actively, not to listen to jump over the other person or encourage them to move their story on ahead. Learning to lessen the stereotypical assumptions that we all have one way or another because of our backgrounds, upbringing, and maybe the limitations to our exposure. Inclusive outreach would include all these pieces. And I welcome you to see here. Thank you for the invitation to your glorious wedding. We enjoyed ourselves tremendously. And this is an MLK event where we involve the community as a whole. So we encourage families to bring their children, and as young as 5 years old on into elementary, middle school, it's a day off, but it's really a day on. So we also encourage Greek Life and all the other student organizations, engineering department, and so on. If you've got something to show off, please come and do it. Teach these students, these children, that they can be you. They can be Henrietta, and they can be Dr. Gill, and they can be like that. But if they start at this young age where they're watching those motor cars being created in the engineering department, and they see that it's not that complicated if you just apply yourself also, if you have the correct people around you, as we've mentioned, you can go very far. This is the simple empowerment model. You educate and embrace the differences. It can be formal, it can be informal. You give people the correct support system so they can make the right choices and know where their resources are coming from. Thank you very much. We wish to provide individualized care and support to those in need and work to create a healthy environment by promoting safety, healing, and well-being. I thank you. Shukran.
Okay, we're going to prepare for lunch at this time. It's going to be in the front. I believe that our event manager is probably going to direct everyone to the front here shortly. But let's say grace. And actually, Miss Brittany, would you say grace? Okay.
Lord, we thank you for this time of fellowship. We ask that you cover the food that we are about to, bless the food that we're about to eat for the nourishment of our bodies. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Miss Brittany. And thank you to our online audience. If you could hang out with us, we will return in about 30 minutes.
not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my lips, I wanna lose them. I take my arms, I'll never use them. Your goodbyes, they left me with eyes that cried. How can I get along without you? You took the part that once was my heart, so why not I take all of me? Let's go, boys, let's go. Goodbye left me with eyes that cried. Now I'm lost without you, and now that you took that part that used to be my heart, all of me, why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm a mess without you? You took the part that used to be my heart, so why not take all of me?
The falling leaves drift by the window, the autumn leaves of red and gold. I see your lips, the summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to hold. Since you went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter's song. But I miss you most of all, my darling, when autumn leaves start to fall. Since you went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter's song. But I miss you most of all, my darling, when autumn leaves start to fall.
I thought a kiss was just a kiss, but I was wrong. A kiss was just a kiss until you came along. I never knew that I could feel the way I do. Feel this way for you. This feeling is so new. When I heard other lovers talk about a kiss, I thought the thrill they felt was one that I had missed. Oh, darling, they were right, and I was oh so wrong. A kiss was just a kiss until you came along.
I love your kisses. May there be never among the things I'm missing. This is a world so full of sorrow, but when we kiss, I want to live tomorrow. If lips like yours, so tender and warm, were pressed close to mine to make me know that life must go on and on, because I love you so, because I love you so. And though we kissed and were gone, richer and more sublime my life must be, because I kissed you once and you kissed me.
Check, check. Hey guys, please continue to eat, enjoy your lunch. So I've talked to the videographer.
drift by the window, the autumn leaves of red and gold. I see your lips, the summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to hold. Since you went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter's song. But I miss you most of all, my darling, when autumn leaves start to fall. Since you went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter's song. But I miss you most of all, my darling.
Hello, everyone. We're going to get started here in the next minute. If you could kind of start making your way to the front, please. Hello and welcome back. I hope everyone enjoyed their lunch. So we're going to do a fireside chat. But first, I have been tasked with introducing myself because obviously I just started the event, didn't give y'all a name, so we're still technically strangers, right? The event manager that's running around frantically kind of bullied me into giving this introduction. My name is Ariel. My background is in psychology. I'm a mother of one. Don't want to give too much information about me because I'm just here to absorb. So I am at a space in my life where I feel like I'm kind of starting over in terms of becoming a different version of myself, letting go of what I thought I knew, and embracing something different, which is why I'm so excited about this initiative. I met Henrietta through our event managers group that she has recently formed. I'm very proud of her, Wives of Faith. And we just kind of hit it off, developed a sisterhood, and my God, she trusted me to host her event. Can you believe that? So thank you again. I love you. I want to bring out two of our speakers that is going to be joining me. Ruthie Baidu. She's a pastor, mother, artist, author, advocate, philanthropist, an entrepreneur. She holds a degree and also a counseling certificate. And she recently was written about in Good Food magazine. It's a publication in the UK, because she won an award in 2020, the Big Idea Challenge. And this was due to her two organizations that she has, her company, Ruthie's Best Sauce, and also Speak Out. Speak Out is a nonprofit organization that raises awareness about all forms of abuse. And she educates the community and helps victims through this organization. And with Ruthie Best Sauce, that means that she can really cook. So without further ado, Ruthie Baidu. Okay, our next speaker, Anita Monclar. Anita is a seasoned family counselor with over 20 years of experience in ministry, dedicated to fostering healthy, Christ-centered relationships and guiding individuals through life's challenges. Holding a Bachelor of Science in Psychology with a specialization in family counseling and Christian leadership from Great Lakes Christian College, she combines her deep understanding of human behavior with biblical principles to provide compassionate, faith-based counseling for families. Her ministry journey has been defined by a commitment to helping others strengthen their spiritual and familial bonds. Through Liberty Prayer Ministries, which she founded in 2015, Anita has led numerous Bible study groups, retreats, conferences, and seminars. Inspired by Isaiah 61, her mission is to build and restore what has been lost, both spiritually and relationally. With her extensive theological knowledge, insight into family dynamics, and prophetic calling, Anita has positively impacted countless lives. Her teachings and leadership equip believers to walk in faith, restore broken relationships, and embrace their divine purpose. As we gather today, we are honored to receive guidance from Anita Monclar, whose wisdom and experience will undoubtedly inspire us to deepen our walk with Christ and strengthen our family connections. Ladies and gentlemen, Anita Monclar. So, Ruthie, tell me a little bit about your experience in the realm of relationships.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the question. I believe that relationship is very important, and in the field where I am, if you don't have a good relationship, you are not going anywhere. Okay. I'll make an example with the woman in the Bible. I know we are not here to do that, but the woman called Ruth, okay, she met Naomi, and their relationship helped Ruth to go far in life, okay? So if it wasn't for Naomi, Ruth would have not gone anywhere. You see, Oprah left, but Ruth understood the importance of relationship. She followed Naomi to where she was going. Even though there were two, both of them were broken, she still followed Naomi. They went back to Naomi hometown, and Naomi advised Ruth how to go about to find Boaz, okay? So that is how relationship is important. I've been doing my organization for 7 years, and I've come across people that I never thought that could help me reach somewhere. But building a relationship with them, they have taught me wisdom, give me knowledge, and many other things. So I believe that relationship is very important. We need to have a strong relationship. Yeah.
What about you, Anita?
Hello, everyone. It's good to have you all here. As Ms. Ruthie said, relationship is very important in every area of our life, not just some part, every area of our lives. If we are to advance, if we are to move forward, if we are to do anything with ourselves, whether we like it or not, we still have to build relationship. I'll use myself as an example, and I always try to use me, because I don't want people to say, you use my story. I use myself because I am an introvert person, where, there are times you feel like I got no business with you. You feel like you just want to be in your corner. But if you do not come out of that shell to connect with people, you also not know how or what people think, their thoughts, their perception. Neither are you also to express how you feel or how you want things to be done. In other words, I'm saying for us to relate is very important. It could be in different dimensions, different dynamics in relating with each other. I tell my husband, not everybody is your friend. It's very important. We relate with people, but everyone cannot be a friend. We do have colleagues, and we relate to them the same. We relate with our friends that we've had years of experience, pain. They've shared our story. They know what we're going through. And we have, how do they say? What's this word I want to use? Somebody help me here. Associate. Thank you. So associate, you meet them, but you realize that you have something in common. And then you want to get together to bring something up. So yes, we relate, but you also have to be able to define what kind of relationship you have with each other. That is also very important.
How does our early relationships and our early family bonds shape how we build relationships in the future?
Okay, thank you for that question. So there's this that I always talk about, nature and nurturing. Nature and nurturing. Many a times we believe that they say charity begins at home. In as much as charity begins at home, out there's a lot happening that will impact, influence whatever you think you might have learned at home, which may not necessarily be impactful wherever you go, and you feel like you have to change who you are. You feel like you have to compromise because your nurturing and the nature is different. But whether we like it or not, nature have a big role in our life. Nature plays a big role, even in the children that we raise, whether we like it or not. Society have more influence in their lives more than we nurture them do. So you have to have that foundation of, I like to talk about identity. Who you are is very important. If you are able to find your identity, when you go out there, you're still able to be stabilized, not being influenced, but be able to differentiate what is good for you as a person and what to let go. So it's very important to know that whether we like it or not, foundationally, we have nurturing, we have nature. Each one plays a role, each one influences our life. However, there is one that oversees it all, and whether we like it or not, which is the society, what society think, what society expect. So it doesn't matter what your foundation has been. If you do not have that strong foundation from the family side, it is easy to go out there and make a fool of yourself. It is easy to go out there and fail terribly because you were not prepared for what is out there. Thank you.
Yeah, repeat the question for me. I get it, but just can you repeat the question for me, please?
I wanted to ask you, because she mentioned just some of those, the significance of early relationships and those experiences and how they affect identity. And so some of those early experiences and those bonds create trauma. So how would a person navigate finding their identity and overcoming that trauma so they can build better relationships?
Thank you for that. Okay. So I believe that the basic thing that your family gives to you is very important. Like your faith, the love they show you when you are small and older before you go out. Family is very, very important, because if you come from a family where there is trauma, you are abused emotionally, verbally, or whatever, it brings down your self-esteem. So you go out there, you may go to all the school that you want, degrees, have whatever, but your self-esteem is down because your background is broken. So I believe that family is very, very important. I know a lady that she has potential, she has everything, but all these years she has not been able to come out of what happened to her. Her parents were not there. Her mom was there, but she was doing everything by herself. And she was not getting the love that she should have. And that has affected her and her relationship. Okay, so her foundation broken, nothing can happen. Okay, that is trauma. So she's still going through the trauma. But, I don't want to go ahead of myself. But I believe that foundation is very important. The basic things are very important. And families should try and do better for their kids, really. Children. Yeah, so family is very, very important. And what you pick from your family, culture, religion, and many other things. Yeah, the love and nurture, as she said. So, yeah, that's right. Thank you.
I wanted to ask, what are some early experiences that really influence the way that we pursue our goals? So how does early experiences, just in terms of through the lens of clients that you may have seen, people that you've interacted with, what are some common ways that trauma, early experiences, disappointment has really affected the way that these individuals approach their goals, their purpose?
Okay, so I'll use myself as an example, okay? So growing up, I was abused, and that really affected me without even me knowing. So I had goals, but I thought I couldn't do it because I was not good enough. Or people will not listen to me. Or people will judge me because people knew my story, okay? So that put me back. So it affected me. But with time, overcoming the trauma, I came to understand through relationship, I began to understand that it is not what I've been through that will make me, but it is how God made me that I will become. So the things that we go through in our early age is very, very crucial, let me say, and very important at the same time. If you come from a home where, as I said before, it's all about abuse and all the people, some people, if you don't know what abuse is, I mean, relationship, let me say at the end, relationship is important, because if you come from a home where there is abuse, you may take it as normal. Okay, if your father tells you are stupid, your mom tells you are up to nothing, you think your mom beat your dad, a lot of drama in the house, you think it's normal until you get close to certain people and you realize that no, this is not normal. I am not able to do this or do that because of what I've been through that is holding me back. So relationship is important. That it depends the people that you have around you that can push you forward. So for me, being able to come out of the trauma that I've been through and being able to get to where I am is the relationship that I had around me. So it's not only family, it's the relationship that has really helped me to become who I am today. I hope you
So
understand.
being empowered by kind of sharing your story.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about your storytelling? And well, we can go back. So the question that I initially asked, I want to give you an opportunity to speak to that too. But after that, I want to talk about sharing your story and how it has been, a key into someone else's life, but also, building relationships as well.
Yeah. So,
Okay. I'm good. So it comes back to identity and process. In a nutshell, identity and process. So identity, we are looking at where we're coming from, our home, and we're looking at relationship, who you trust. The people that abuse us are the people we trust most. And so it's easy for us to overlook it because we're thinking they love us. But verbal abuse, sexual abuse, we have corporate abuse. There's a lot of abuses that we can want to talk about, but we don't want to go through because of time. But once again, knowing who you are, which we say comes from the family, but at the same time, relationship, you find yourself is very important. That's the foundation of it. If you don't know who you are, if you do not know who you are, it doesn't matter the resources that are given to you. You're still going to go back to wherever you're coming from. So yes, you may be traumatized. I understand. But do you know who you are? Because if you know who you are, the resources and the tools given to you will amount to your healing and you coming out. So there are many times we've shared our story to help people to relate that I know how you feel because I've been there. I know, she said she's been abused. Listen to me. My mom was never there. It's not, she did not create the space, but she was never there because she was very busy. I go out to friends' house, aunties, uncles that my parents trusted. And there's been many attempts on my life. Somebody asked me, did you ever tell your mom? No. What is she going to do about it? Because she's never there. She's never there. And there was one time, I believe, the other parent came to my mom saying, oh, I saw this happen. And my mom was like, why didn't you tell me? It's like, you liked it. So if the trust is broken, there's no way I'm coming back to you to tell you anything. So yes, there are times that we have the foundation, but how do we move from the trust that's been broken from the people we trust most? Exactly. So then we go to process. How do I process it? So yes, there are resources out there, but not everyone is willing to reach out. So sharing our story then gives that person the leverage. It gives that person the step, the foundation to encourage them. I always say baby step is fine. Baby steps. But then another time you traumatize. I need you to go do this. No, because you don't know where they're coming from. We are here because we want to. We are ready. I'm sure we did not just get up and say, I want to share my story. Because you're looking at judgment, name calling, what they are thinking. So it's the process of, I want to do it. The process of, I saw her. She was here, and now she's there. I think the way I see her, if I take that step, I'll be like her. I'll come out, and I'll be strong, and I'll be better.
Beautiful. Okay, we're going to take a couple of questions from the audience. Does anyone have a question? Okay. I'm going to just, let me go to him first. He had his hand raised first. Okay.
Thank you. Hey, I'm William. I have a quick question for my panels. So how do people get out of, there's this adage, once bitten, twice shy. So the person is in like a cage, but he or she tries to reach out and get disappointed. First one, don't forget the history. Then he reaches out again, second time, and get disappointed. So it becomes like a cycle. How do people get out of that situation?
Okay, that's a great question. Great question. So my team is breaking the silence of abuse. You speak out until you break the silence of abuse. Listen, from where I come from, when I shared my story about abuse, when I told my auntie, she believed me that there was somebody that wanted to do something to me. But the person that I wanted to believe me said you were a witch. Okay? So, and family members were bullying me and all that. And the community was bullying me. But I never gave up. Even as young as I was, I never gave up. So people need to understand that you may find people in your community that do not understand what you're going through. They will never understand. But you don't have to stop. You need to look for people. There are many organizations out there. There are many places that you could go and find people that are like yourself. You see, like we go out and share our story. So if somebody come to a conference like this or another conference and hear my story, they will know that I've been through something like that. So definitely if they come to me, it's not magic. You need to do the work, okay? Whether you are a Christian, wherever you are, there is no spirit that is going to appear and tell you, I'm here to listen. God listens to you, but he has put people in place. So keep searching until you find someone that will hear you and tell you that I am here for you. So you have to keep searching. There is nothing that is going to appear. You have to search and make sure that you search and find and break that silence of abuse so that you'll be free. Thank you.
Thank you for that question as well. Now, there's a saying in my dialect, I'll say it in English, that despite you got choked or someone got drowned with water, doesn't mean you stop drinking water. I mean, if you get where I'm going. Despite the fact that you tried and you failed, you tried and you got disappointed, does not mean you stop trying. You try until you can try no more. There is something that I tell my people, it's okay to want to sit. It's okay you want to cry. It's okay you want to lay down. But what is not okay is not moving forward. It's very important to keep on moving on. Because once you stop, that's the end for you. And so in trauma, in pain or whatever one had gone through, and you're looking for resources, you're looking to heal, keep looking, keep searching. Do not give up. Not everyone is going to believe you. Not everyone is even going to take your story as anything. They might even think, there's something that I say, your feelings are valid. They might even think your feelings are not even valid. But at the end of the day, you're the one feeling it. You know how you're going through it. And therefore, you do not allow what somebody think about what you're going through, say, belittling what you have experienced, because they do not know it. So you find a group of people that can relate, that understand your story. And again, how do you tell the story? You can tell the story being faceless. Write it down. Speak it. As you said, speak out. Many are willing to speak out, but you can speak out in many forms. Writing, doodling, draw it. Any way that you can get it out there, keep doing it till the word gets out there. It takes one person to say, I want to do this. When we look at people that advocate, it didn't take a whole lot of people. It took one person that says, I want to do this. This is injustice, and I want to do it. Did the world believe them instantly? No. They got turned down. They got disappointed. But at the end, many later got into it. Okay, whatever you're saying, there's some truth in it. Then they started getting the support. So yes, you try, you don't get a support. It doesn't mean to quit. Quitting is not the answer. Keep searching.
Thank you. One other question. This is going to be our final question.
I just wanted to share this from online viewer. She said, what value do you put on yourself despite your family values and norms? You first have to understand your purpose in life. I'd like to elaborate on that, if both of you could, because I've encountered two types of people. There are people that believe when you meet people it's just casual, and there are people that believe in purpose, that you're walking in your purpose. Do you believe that this foundation called purpose is something that is born from your foundation? Or do you believe that as you move on in life, that is where you find out and therefore you have a different view of the type of people you should build relationships with?
Okay. Thank you for your question. So it comes back world view, how you view the world. And so it's a little bit from family and a little bit from coming back to process, how you go through it, which is nature, nurturing. So first of all, we understand from our foundation family, we can get our faith from there. We can also have some characters or traits from there that can make us as we move on. Purpose can someone can know that, okay, this is what I want to do from when they were children or child, and their parents or the family they come from will equip them in that capacity. So when they grow, they're not finding it difficult. They know what they want to do. And there are people that do not know what they want to do. Even from childhood, they try different things. And remember, not everyone get the support they need from family. Even as much as they want to do something, they don't have the support. So they just do something that can earn them a livelihood. So many are living, but they are not living in their purpose. They're living all right, but not living their purpose. They're very grown-up people that do not even know what their purposes are. So it comes back to worldview. How do you view your perception about the world? So yes, we can build purpose in our homes whilst we're growing with the right parents to support. And we have that easy navigation through it. And we can also go out there and realize, okay, this is what I thought I want to be. But after shaping my worldview with experience, I think this is now what I want to be. So it's still in nature and nurturing, building our worldview.
Thank you. So when she was speaking, a lot of was coming in my mind. So I believe that purpose, yes. Sometimes, it's not sometimes, you may come from a family, you see that your mom had this potential and your dad, but because of trauma in the family, none of them could fulfill anything, okay? So generational blessings are serious and curses too. So you see that what they are doing is in you, okay? Is in you. So growing up, sometimes you see yourself doing the same thing. You see yourself carrying on the blessing, but it depends on who you will meet that will empower you to be able to let that come to pass. And as I said before, sometimes you have values, you have potentials that are hidden in you. You have to meet people very quick. Same example with someone in the Bible. The woman with the oil. Elijah, the woman with the oil in the Bible, okay? The husband was, let me say, entrepreneur, but he was in debt, okay? So he died. And they became miserable. Trauma. They thought they were going to die, okay? But she had an encounter with a man that saw the gift that she had in her. Because when the husband was alive, she was never doing entrepreneurship or anything. But the man saw her and said, listen, what do you have in your house? What gift do you have? She said, oh, maybe I can just sing, I can just dance. And the man was like, no, what you have is more than what you can see. Now, I want you to go and pick vessels. So she encountered somebody that saw what she was carrying and said, listen, it was not only your husband that was an entrepreneur, you are even entrepreneur. Now, this oil will multiply. I need you to get vessels. So you may have the potential and the purpose, but relationship is always important. Find people like yourself, find people that can see what you have, and they can help you bring the greatness in you. Yeah, thank you very much.
I just want to add that it's also easy for people want to walk in other people's defined purpose. That's their purpose, because it's hard finding your purpose. It's not easy. You don't just come into purpose. So there are people walking in others' identity, others' purpose, and they're confused. They don't know what they're about. And so whatever that is in your hands is what has to be used. It is not outside of anything. Sometimes we're looking for a bigger loan to invest. We're looking for, oh, if only I have this partner to help me. If I have this certificate, or if I'm able to do my PhD, if I'm able to. All that is not a bad thing. It is not. It is not a bad thing. But is that what you really need? Finding your purpose is not outside of your comfort zone. Whatever that is in your hands is what you're being called to use. So what do you have in your hands? I throw it out to everyone. That's all you need to start something. Somebody say, okay, I don't have it in my hands. What do you have in your head? Ideas. Those ideas, bring it to life. Do not just keep the idea and just write it down and shove it somewhere. Bring it to life. Somebody say, but nobody is supporting me. It doesn't matter. When you step up, people will see it and they will come along. Step up. Do it. Will it succeed the first time? No. You listen, if you don't fail, then it's not right. You have to fail, cry, want to say you don't want to do it again, then you pick it up, then you start again, then you fail terribly, then you pick it up again. Whatever that is in your hands is all that you need. Once you start with that, the rest will follow. If you have $10 and you want to do investment, invest that $10. Don't wait for $200 million to invest. That $200 million is not. You want to be the first generational person that builds wealth. It starts with that $1. You want to be the first person that builds a business. Yes, it starts with that idea that you have. Put it to use. It can start from your kitchen, your garage. It can even start from your phone. That's all you need. Work with it. You don't find purpose by following celebrities. You don't find purpose by trying to put yourself out there and compromising who you are when you are not. Because the problem is, as much as you try to walk in someone's identity, you will fail terribly. You fail because you're not finding who you are. You're not walking in your purpose. You're walking in someone's shadow. Again, you do not know their pain, their struggle. You do not know what they have to deal with for you to see them in that light. So you are just a copycat, a duplicate. If you want to be your true self, start from ground zero. That hard work will bring you into purpose.
I just want to say something quickly. Sorry. You see, what she said was very important. When they called me, someone said, then she'll be a very good cook. When I started my shito, I'm not a good cook. I know how to cook, but I'm not that good. But it started from my kitchen. And somebody had to come and eat my food and said, oh, your shito is a bit different. That is when I said, okay, let me start doing the business then. Then I went to uni, and it was featured eventually on BBC magazine. But it started from my kitchen. I didn't have to wait for a big money. You understand? As she was saying. So I just want to finish it by encouraging you that whatever little thing that you have, the idea, as she said, go for it, and you never know what it will become. Thank you very much.
Wow. Thank you so much. I learned so much from this session. It was a few moments I wanted to cry, not gonna lie, but I held it together. We're gonna keep moving forward with fireside chats. I'm gonna bring up Miss Henrietta to introduce our next guest.
All right. That was so good. I don't know what to say. There was a lot. There was a lot in my mind. That's what I like about fireside chats. We get to be our authentic selves, and we get to learn from all walks of life. I have learned a lot. I'm still learning. Like my cousin would say, the day you stop learning or the day you stop solving problems, it's the day the Lord calls you. So we don't stop learning. All right, this next session will be led by myself and my friend Karen. As she walks up here, I do want to say I am very honored that you get to join me this time. She is a published author, y'all. She is looking like nothing, but please, she's a big deal. Everyone here is a big deal. But she's such an amazing person that when we connected, it was instant. I'm going to read her little bio so that you know who she is. She's a consummate speaker, minister, entrepreneur, and educator. She's best known for her unwavering determination to help others realize their unique gifts and talents. With over 20 years of experience, she has empowered countless young adults with wisdom, guiding them towards success and assisting them to find their purpose in life. Her extensive work with nonprofit youth organizations spans the globe. It includes affiliations with Youth Alive, Rema Youth, Go Hard for Christ, 100 Black Men of Chicago, Project Exploration, and Legacy Flight Academy. Through these collaborations, Karen has made significant impact on the lives of many young people. In addition to her mentorship, Ms. Staten launched her Youth Faith Keys, a nonprofit organization dedicated to addressing the critical issues faced by youth aspiring to attend college. She is committed to fostering youth development, as exemplified by her latest endeavor, Wisdom Speaks Publishing, LLC, a company focused on inspiring and publishing the works of young writers. Her academic achievements are equally impressive. She holds degrees at the Training Center in Youth Ministry and has completed a creative writing course in a master's program at DePaul University. Welcome, Ms. Karen. How are you?
Thank you for having me.
Yes. When I asked Ms. Karen to join us, to join the lunch, there was a particular reason. I've spoken extensively about my background, but the major change where the seed picked up was at the university. There was one instance that made me understand that connection is everything. I don't know why in our society today, we say we invest in the youth, but we actually don't. What I say is the resources are very limited, and I get it. The way society looks, the way the world is going, everybody's fending for themselves. But I realized that 12 years later, I was a youth 12 years ago, and 12 years later, here I am because somebody helped me. So having a program that empowers youth is a big deal. That's the future. But I believe that we are in a bit of a tricky generation where we want the youth to grow up really quickly when they should be shielded.
I was blessed enough to have someone that shielded me, helped me understand, navigate through life. And so my identity was solidified during that time, that when I was up and gone, I was able to tell black and white. So Ms. Karen, as we dive into this, I want you to talk about your latest book. I want you to talk about your work, because I think it really brings out the purpose of why you're doing what you're doing and why the youth is so close to your heart.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. And my book started on a journey actually to learn about writing to help my mom. My mom wanted to write a book, and I said, okay, if she's going to do this, I'm going to have to figure out how to make it happen to help her. So in the midst of me on this journey, trying to figure out how to write a book, I was actually in an event with other ladies, and I got inspired to write a book. I've always worked with youth, and my heart has been for the youth. But the book was a little spin, so I said, okay, well, if I'm supposed to write a book, Lord, what am I supposed to put in my book? And so in the endeavor of searching out, as she was talking about earlier, purpose, which is so important, understanding and knowing your purpose, well, I know I wanted to connect the youth to my book. That was very close to my heart. So my cover is very youth-centered. So on my journey to write my book, I decided to write about wisdom because, as we ladies were talking about earlier, relationships are so important. So important amongst young generation, the older generation, and my purpose is to make sure we're bridging the gap between the two, because there's a disconnect. We now have people that grandparents live across the country, and they're not speaking with their children as well as, or seeing them as often, so there's sort of a disconnect. But I think one of the things that I really wanted to bring across was the wisdom that people have said for years. My mother has heard, you might have heard, some of the sayings that I actually wrote about. I want to make sure that's passed on to the next generation. Make sure we're empowering them and start a movement, if I can, across this country to make sure we're not losing that generation and that older generation is not connecting with them on any term necessary.
That was powerful. So your mom was a writer.
Yes.
I think I need an autograph. I'm sure she's famous or something. But that was really powerful. I do have a few questions that I wanted to ask you. So in your 20 years of experience, how can we better connect the young people with the tools and opportunities that they need to become the leaders that will help shape our future?
So you said, could you say that again?
Yes. How can we better connect young people with the tools and opportunities they need to become the leaders that will shape our future?
So first of all, I think, I need to speak. First of all, I think as a society and as adults being over the youth, I think first of all we need to be aware, right? You can have kids or not have kids, but even at your job, I think we need to be aware, first of all, aware of what's available. So if you work, say, in accounting, for instance, I don't work in accounting, but if you work in accounting, you may have programs that young people can come and participate at your job, internships, or they may have a shadow day. And you can bring up someone, say, for instance, you see a wayward youth in your neighborhood. You know, of course, have discretion, right, and be safe. But maybe you want to take them with you one day and say, you know what, we have a program at my job. But a lot of times if you're not aware of what's available to you, how can you share? How can you help that young person? Because you're not aware yourself of what is available. So I think one is just being available and understanding what's available to us so we can make that available to them. Because there's a number of tools that are available. One, online, and like I said, at your job, and other places as well in the community. There's a lot of community programs, but a lot of times we don't know. So what can we share that we don't have knowledge of?
So we have a direct responsibility.
Oh, most definitely.
In knowing what's available so that we can
Right.
help the youth moving forward. That's great. In what ways can mentorship and partnership between generations foster the connections necessary to build diverse and impactful leadership for tomorrow?
Okay.
In what ways can mentorship and partnerships between generations foster the connections necessary to build diverse and impactful leadership for tomorrow?
So one thing, you mentioned mentorship and partnership. To me, I think they're both, one, they interlock I'll say. One, I've been a mentor for a long time to a number of youth. Mentorship in itself is one, helping the youth understand what they need, right? A lot of times we talk about what they need and what they don't have, and we always talk the negative, but what about the positive? What about helping them see what they need? And not just helping them see what they need, but actually doing something about it, right? So like I said, you could participate and bring them to your job. You're actually demonstrating as a mentor in their life and helping them understand what they need. And there's a lot of different mentoring programs. I mean, there's mentoring programs you can go from 1 day to 2 weeks to a month. So I think the key factor is this understanding your role as a mentor, because you're letting the young person be inside of your life, whether it's your family and however you're operating, whatever you're doing. They can go along with you in that journey to help understand, okay, well, you know what? I might see this at my house, and my house may not be the house I need to see. It may not be operating like I want, but I see my mentor's house. I see his family. I see how he treats his kids. I see how he loves on his wife. And that's how I want to be when I grow up. So I think mentorship is very powerful. I think we underestimate being a mentor, and we a lot of times overthink things and don't really understand that, it's a little bit easier than you may want it to be. And then partnership is the corporate side. I think the corporate, the government, the partnerships with all the different entities that are also impacting the youth. And so if you have a powerful company, like there's a lot of different companies that give grants and stuff to kids for scholarships and stuff like that, these companies have decided to be dedicated to helping impact the youth. So I think from the corporations and the partnerships and the connections, and not only them, working with the young people and making sure they have programs that can implement the young and help the young people, those mentorship programs as well, you working one-on-one. So the bigger picture is the companies and the corporations and the governments, and the smallest is you as one individual, as they were saying earlier, having a purpose, and your purpose, if your purpose is to help the youth, grab them and start mentoring.
That's good. I can personally attest to mentorship. I've had the privilege to mentor even my peers, surprisingly enough. You just never know. This past summer, I would say the beginning of May, I had the opportunity to mentor 4 people. And I record the Lord telling me that this is a season of serving, right? Because you let them in, they let you into their world, and being able to take yourself out, but using the tools that you have to help them navigate through life, it's a big deal. Because I've seen changes, I've seen the impact that it can bring, and I just wish we could talk more about it. Because sometimes we see, when we talk about mentors, we're looking at the big people, people that have like X amount of years of experience, which, I mean, you may need, right? But if you're walking in your purpose, that is one of the areas that the Lord may be calling you to mentor other people to help them navigate through this difficult time. So I can attest to it that mentorship, I think, is key. You can do it. You can't walk in life without one, and if you don't have one, you should probably go look for one. I came across this social media post that the lady said she has board of directors. They're basically mentors for every area of her life, financially, spiritually, education, like every area of her life. She has board of directors. She treats her life like a business, but they are all really mentors that are helping her go forward, so that if something happens and she falls, she has a backup plan, right? And I think a lot of us have to operate that. Now, God is our ultimate board of directors, but he will bring people in your life where you are grounded, you are stable, and you're able to move forward. So I think we need to step back on seeing mentorship as kind of like an honor, but like a servitude. It's a ministry that both of us are performing, and it's very important that we keep on that path. So that's great work. I'm glad you're doing that, because the youth, whoever you're mentoring, is very, very blessed.
I've seen change. I mean, it's inevitable.
Okay, we'll ask a few. How do we ensure that the youth voices are not only heard, but actively shape solutions that influence the future of our communities and the world? Yes, ma'am. How do we ensure that
youth voices are not only heard, but actively shape solutions that influence the future of our communities and the world?
So first of all, I think one of the things that's very important is allowing them to talk and to not only allow them to talk, but us to listen. A lot of youth need direction, as I was mentioning before, but we have to create the table and the space for them to be able to come to that table, whether it's a board meeting, whether it's at your table as their mentor, but just being able to create the environment where they can feel comfortable. So I think on such a large scale, from, like I said, you being their mentoring to them being at corporate America, have an event at your job where you have young people come and you're sitting there and you guys are all discussing how that particular company is financed. What are the issues that company is dealing with? Let's talk about how would you assess to bring this company forward and be financially astute, so that way we can survive and be successful. Let's talk about these real things with the young people. Don't just shut out and say, okay, well, you know what? Here's an intern, go get me coffee and go get my clothes out the dry cleaners. I mean, it happens. What is that teaching? It's not teaching as much as you bringing them to the table and actually letting them be in the decision-making process of the future of that company. And then, of course, hearing them and then also providing them wisdom and knowledge. Well, I understand what you're saying, but let's talk about it. Let's get feedback and let's share a discussion about what is actually taking place. And let's not just say, okay, your answer is the right answer, my answer is the answer, but let's talk about it.
That is so good.
So it's guiding their thinking and their processing. Because they may think, yes, I have the answer, but it may be not so.
I'm glad you brought this up because actually today the youth is impacting the world. I believe before it was a little bit in the background. Like you said, we give them roles. You stay in the back. You're little. But the youth is impacting how we hire, how we train people out. I mean, they are disrupting the industry because some people have recognized that they carry so much wisdom, but what they're lacking is experience. And so we need to bring them on the table to be able to discuss that. There was one incident that happened at a previous corporate job where there was a youth, but like teens, early 20s, that applied for the job, and they were top-notch candidates. I mean, the HR people were happy. The person went to research the company online and saw the gender gap, the age gap, and turned down the job because of that. They felt like once they come into that environment, they were not going to get the support to be able to grow. Their voices were not going to be heard. And I tell you, an entire HR department was freaking out. I mean, they were freaking out because they said, we usually just get rejection, but it's the first time that a person said, I'm rejecting to even consider working here because you do not have the structure that will support me.
And that's powerful.
And one candidate, now they have to think about, okay, how do we incorporate programs? What do we do? Because first it was diversity. Now it's no longer that. Now it's everything. Now it's the age, the gender. Like, what are we going to do? I mean, the entire HR department had to, like, restructure themselves to make sure that doesn't happen again. And so what you mentioned is very important because for a long time, I would say at least in our minority community, I was always told, don't speak when an older person is speaking, where now it's flipped. But what we need to do is just help them because they're lacking experience. They may have the wisdom, but they're lacking experience to be able to say, this is what I'm thinking. And then with your experience, you'll be able to balance it out and get to a solution that is a win-win solution for all. So I really think giving them a voice is not only enough, it's a mandate, right? It's a mandate because they make the future. And so you recognizing that at this early stage, working with them, it's extremely powerful because they are disrupting the industry. I mean, if I go and complain to HR, they're not going to look like, I saw one individual, like HR panicking. They've already seen the future, right? So that is really good. I know our time is wrapping up, so I'm just going to ask you the last questions. Yes. what challenges do we face when trying to bridge generational gaps, and how can we use these connections to create stronger communities for the future?
Interesting. So I was thinking of one thing in planning for this event. I was like, you know what about a networking event where you have the older people and the younger people?
Okay.
So you're actually providing in person the ability for the younger and the old to actually talk and communicate at a networking event. And the person, say for instance, if he's had retired and he's worked for AT&T, he has all those years of experience, and he can actually bring those years of experience to that event. And the young people are in the midst of the older generation. And so that's just from the corporate side. Of course, from the younger side, if you have their own grandparents, you want to make sure that, you know, the grandparents are involved in their lives as well, just from making sure, having events in your family, having family reunions, making sure that they're important and they're in place. The connections are vital.
Wow, that was really good. So you believe that the challenge is just, we're just not, the gap is so wide that we're just not creating events where...
Well, I will say this. I was researching, and there's actually, I think people are recognizing that there's a huge problem. There's a huge problem. I don't want to get into certain things, but there's a huge problem with us and just as a whole, as a country, with our seniors. And some things are being addressed and some things are not, okay? But this is the one thing I thought was really powerful, which sort of encouraged me. There's actually a thing taking place right now where they're putting older individuals, like seniors, and you can actually live on a college campus. So I think they're realizing that this is serious, and we need to put young people and older people in an environment where they can grow and learn from each other, and the older generation can go to classes. And this is happening countrywide right now. This is like a serious movement. So I'm excited to see, like, you know, what it's going to take. This lady was sharing how, you know, she had the young lady at her house, and they were eating dinner, and she's like, I'm taking, I think she has 5 classes, and she's like retired. So I think people are aware of there's a huge gap, and how do we fix it? And how do we make it makes a difference and make change for the future? Because we have to do something, not later, but now, which is so important.
Wow, that was really good. I was really blessed. Thank you so much for honoring this opportunity, for honoring me as we launched this. And like I said, this touches very close to home, because that's where everything started. And you are doing an amazing job. But before we close out, any questions that the audience would like to ask? Yes.
So, by the way, talking about mentoring, how do you identify somebody that you can mentor? Is it you think they need it, or is it the person has to think or know that they need mentoring? Or how do you identify people that you can mentor? Because I'm very busy. I'm not going to want to waste my time, which I don't even have much of it. So if I want to mentor, they have to know what, and they'll have to be serious with it. So how do you identify that?
So you would like to, you're saying you're kind of busy. So
if I mentor somebody, they should be interested in putting in that energy.
Okay.
So how do I identify somebody that is going to appreciate that time that I'm going to put in to mentor them, so that I'm not just chasing them around, maybe they are not interested. And it's like, so how do you kind of navigate that, identifying the right people that you can pour yourself into?
Well, one, I would say there's lots of nonprofit organizations. You want to find out, you know, depending on if you want to mentor a young man or a young lady. There are tons of organizations. I was working with one, a really big one that was an after-school program, and they specifically worked with STEM educational programs. So they wanted the mentors that came in and taught to have knowledge regarding STEM. So there's from STEM to, you know, how to self-esteem, like the ladies were saying, women that have, young ladies that have been abused, or men that have been abused. There's tons of nonprofits that you can find, or organizations. So I would say check in your local community Of course, if you want to ask me, I'll help you. I'll find you someone. And these communities have youth that have signed up with their programs, and those youth are ready to actually, I don't want to say they've sort of vetted those young people, but usually if you signed up for something as a young person, you want to be there. And then you have to be transparent. I actually had a youth I work with, and I actually told her, you know what? I've been talking and talking, you're not listening. And she was literally furious that I was like, I'm done. But you know what? She turned out to be a powerful young woman. And she's actually talking about being the dean of students. So it's no matter what they say, you do your part. Like you said, if she signed up and she's ready for the task, or he's ready for the task, whether, like I said, it's through that organization, or I don't know if your company is involved in like mentoring outside, but there's tons. And then like local schools, like your high schools, they may or may not have programs. But yeah, there's always a way.
Okay, we have one more question. What is your advice around cutting through the noise that young people have to fight through? Social media, bad influence, confusion about sexuality. How do you cut through that noise to help mentor them?
Oh, wow. So I was thinking a couple things. One, I was at a program at the library, actually, and this police department was hosting this event, and they were talking about how the young adults, the parents are fighting with them. And this was like probably maybe 5 years ago or more. They're fighting with them because they don't want to leave they don't want to put their iPods or their iPads down at night, and they're trying to they're in bed, trying to do the screens, and they're fighting, and so they're asking the police officers, how do I deal with this? So it is serious. I mean, it's almost like that's their little baby, they just love it so much. So they were giving the parents some guidance, because to me, we were talking and we've been saying, there's a need for disruption, because if you're holding on to it like it's a dear life, nothing is a dear life, right? Especially a tablet, I hope would not be dear life. That's why I chose the cover idea, because those cell phones are something else. But you're saying, how can you deal with those things and get past that? One, I think you have to be honest with them. I was mentoring at a high school, and it was an after-school program, and there was a young man who was on his phone. And I said, I gave myself a minute, and I said, I came from work, I drove how far, and you're on your phone. This is not going to end well. And so I gave him, so many minutes, and I said, okay, let's see how, this. And so he kept staying on his phone, So I just actually asked him. I said, why did you come? This is an after-school program. You don't have to be here. Let's just be honest. Why did you come? He's like, oh, well, I'm required, whatever. So I said, well, how about this? How about you put your phone aside and give me 5-10 minutes just to start helping you with your math? He was doing math. By the time he was done, and this was maybe a 30 to 45-minute after-school program, I was in awe of how smart this young man was. So it's a lot of times you stepping in that position authoritatively, not being rude, right? But being respectful, and just letting them know, look, this does not, sometimes they don't hear that. Mom is doing whatever, or mom's busy, everybody's so busy now. I get it, I'm busy too. But somebody needs to say, wait. And he respected me. At the end of the day, he was the program ended up getting canceled, which I felt really bad about, not on my own, but yeah, there was some other stuff that went with the parents. But it was, he walked away different. And that's just one story. I've done camps. Grandparents have dropped their kids off at summer camps, and they're like, I was really worried about my grandson, but he's doing better. Out of 1 week of a camp. So, I mean, it's powerful. We underestimate how we can really impact and be powerful in their lives. Oh.
Yes, that there's a petition going on in Italy to remove cell phones from children. I mean, she literally sent it to me 2 days ago. We had this conversation, because everywhere I go, I do have the conversation about youth. And she said in Italy right now, there's a petition going on to ban cell phones from the kids. So I think we are on the right path. But I think forcing them is not the way. But I like your approach, which is to engage them in conversations where it'll trigger their minds, it will make them feel like, okay, This one is different. This one is not just looking at me, looking at their phones, looking at my phone. Engage them in serious conversation, and that's how we're going to disrupt everything else. So I really like your approach because like a whole petition to take the phone. I don't know how that's gonna go, but Italy is a different country. They're different people, so it might work there. But I agree with you that we just have to be more involved. I think our time is up. This was very good, right? Yeah. Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you very much, everyone. And Miss Ariel will come and take the stage. All right.
Wow. Thank you so much, Ms. Karen, for that information. And Henrietta, what great pearls of wisdom to help us connect with our youth and really get their attention, because it can be challenging, especially with technology and other distractions. Please don't forget to visit the table out in the front and take a look at Ms. Karen's book. We really want to support her. Uh-oh, y'all. Our guest keynote speaker is about to take the stage. I had the opportunity to really have an incredible conversation with him earlier. Lee A. Gill, he is the Vice President for Institutional Equity at the University of Louisville. He has more than 20 years of experience in the diversity field. He is a nationally recognized leader with higher education and private practice experience. Prior to joining the University of Louisville team, he served as Clemson University's Chief Diversity Officer and Special Assistant to the President. While at Clemson, he was credited with building a sustainable infrastructure to incorporate diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts into the campus culture, and with creating programs that support and address the challenges facing women, Black and Hispanic students, and the LGBTQ community. He formed the Clemson University Men of Color National Summit, which brings together more than 2,000 students, educators, business professionals, government officials, and community leaders around the world to explore issues and share best practices to increase high school and college graduation rates. Gill also served for 8 years as Associate Vice President for Inclusion and Equity and Chief Diversity Officer at the University of Akron. Before joining Akron, he was the Chief Executive Officer of Stratus Group Consultants, Inc., a firm providing diversity audits, training, and organizational assessments. Prior to that role, he held the position of Dean of the Institute for Diversity and Leadership at Lake Michigan College at Benton Harbor, Michigan. Gill holds a Juris Doctorate in Law from the Chicago Kent College of Law, Illinois Institute of Technology, and a bachelor's degree in political science from the University of Michigan. Ladies and gentlemen, please get your hands together. Please stand to your feet for our guest speaker, Mr. Gill.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank all of you. Let me, unlike Dr. Rosa, I may not need a mic. My voice is a little louder. But let me first start off by saying what an amazing morning this has been. To listen to the variety of discussions, the depth of those discussions, the sensitivity of those discussions has really been amazing. I am so very pleased to be here and to have received an invitation from our own Henrietta, who we love and admire and has just blossomed and grown in these 12 or so years since she left University of Akron, and to see William and look a little older there than he was when we first all met. I think the last time we were together was at their wedding, and to see the tremendous growth and love and nurturing is, I just can't tell you what it does to my heart. Not only am I smiling on the outside, I'm smiling on the inside. I want to start at a particular place this afternoon. Listening to all of what you were saying today and how we just ended up talking about mentors and talking about the fact that needing people to pour into our life. I want to start there because quite frankly, I would not be here this afternoon if I didn't have my mentor. My mentor taught at the University of Michigan for 46 years. His name was Dr. John, Jon, Onye, O-N-Y-E, Lockhart. Onye in Swahili means traveling artist. He was also one of the foremost international artists in the world. His works, if you Google him, which is why I spelled his name, if you Google him, you will see some of the most tremendous imagery of his art and his work. Giant murals that frankly are all throughout the state of Michigan, at most of the colleges and universities, at the University of Michigan, and also at so many other places around the country. When I think about my mentor, and when I think about connections, he connected me to so many people. When we talk about generations, here I am, an undergraduate student in Michigan, first generation, only one first person in my family to go to college. Didn't know anything about going to college because you don't have a college-going culture. So, for example, when you would see the banks on college campuses giving away credit cards, you have to sign the applications and all that. I thought they were giving me free money. I said I was first generation, okay? I thought that meant that I didn't have to pay that back. Little did I learn, little years down the road when I looked at my credit record, I needed to pay that back. But John Lockhart introduced me to the likes of Julian Bond and Jesse Jackson, Louis Farrakhan. Out of Chicago, Dr. Margaret Burroughs, who started the DeSable Museum, Muhammad Ali, all moving in those circles. And the only reason I was there, and I was a young person, we're talking about listening to young person's voices. I was a young person, and he made sure I was in the room listening. He saw something in me. When we talk about who do you mentor, how you reach out, how you connect, the mentee has to see something in the mentor, and the mentor has to see something in the mentee. Okay? Let's understand that. That works both ways. Okay? It's not like you gonna just grab somebody off the street and start mentoring them. All right? That ain't gonna work that way. So there has to be the synergy between the two. And John provided me that. Because of John Lockhart, I served on the Martin Luther King board to build the monument on the Washington, D.C. Mall. Some of you may not realize the monument was actually the architect of record for the monument is a Michigan graduate. One of the first PhDs in architecture actually designed the monument that's on the mall right now. Some of you also may not realize the sculptor of record is a gentleman by the name of Master Lei, L-I-E. And Master Lei speaks no English. He is from China, Beijing, China. And he was discovered to become the sculptor at an international sculpting event in Minnesota. And he was laying under a tree, and we approached him. And because people said, when we asked the question, who is the best sculptor in the world? They said, there he is over there laying under the tree. He was asleep, speaks no English. His wife, who's interesting enough, her name is Candy. She's Chinese now. Her name is Candy. She speaks a little English. But he was the one that was chosen to become the sculptor of record. He actually built the King Monument in Beijing built it in Beijing, cut it, put it on a barge, and shipped it to Washington, D.C. And then it was reassembled. So I only say that to you because I want you to understand the importance of mentors. God, the importance of mentors. You changed their lives. This gentleman, Dr. Lockhart, and he passed away, unfortunately, several years ago. And I miss him today. I miss the phone calls we used to have. I miss him telling me when I was full of you know what. Y'all with me? Okay? Honest, tough love. But at the same time, love that was genuine. So I wanted to acknowledge him today. Here's where I want to start. Because we're in a time and a place right now where there are tremendous pushbacks on DEI. I'm going to bring this home about making connections and the importance of building a future by making those connections. But we're in a tremendous upheaval in our country when it comes to something that we thought was better at bringing humanity together. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. When did that become a four-letter word? That's only 3 letters, isn't it? When did it become a 4-letter word? Well, it became a 4-letter word because there are, quite frankly, national organized think tanks in Washington, D.C. that have literally been putting this stuff out and has gone from state to state to state, okay? And as it moved from state to state, they use the same old tired language, divisive concepts, critical race theory, CRT. How many of y'all have learned about critical race theory when y'all was in middle school, high school? The reason I ask that question is because it's not taught in middle school, as though we're teaching elementary students about critical race theory. Critical race theory is a legal construct. It's where actually embedded in the law are discriminatory practices. So, for example, restrictive covenants. Restrictive covenants for people who want to buy homes. There are certain places where it was against the law to sell a home to a black person or Jewish person. That's a restrictive covenant embedded in the law. That's critical race theory. Is that taught in 3rd grade? Huh? 4th, 5th? Answer is no. So a lot of straw man arguments have been pulled up and pulled out as this pushback has taken place. Banning books. That sounds like something out of a whole different century, doesn't it? Banning books? How we learn? How we transition learning from one decade to another or one society to another. We do that through reading a book. But certain books will make, as people have said, make people feel bad about themselves. Well, gosh darn it, some of the things that America has done to folks, we need to feel bad about ourselves. Are y'all with me? Now, y'all gonna work with me just a little bit here now, okay? Come on now. All right, I ain't gonna let y'all just sit there. All right, okay? So banning books. Then we got this construct called woke. By the way, what's the opposite of being awake? Sleep. Whoa, okay. I'd rather be woke than sleep. But now, woke is used as a negative to show that you are enlightened or aware or attempting to do the right thing. I was listening to a TV program a couple of days ago, and they were interviewing various people who were attending this campaign rally. And someone said, what does that word woke mean? And the woman said, I don't know what it means, but I don't like it. It's something that elitists say. I don't know what it means, but I don't like it. Okay? So I just wanted to bring these divisive concepts that are being moved from one state to the next to fight against and push back against DEI. This is an example of some of the states that have already passed anti-DEI legislation. And the reason this is quite frankly, at the top of my mind, this morning at about 8:15, my phone rung. And it was the president of my university. Okay? Now, on a Saturday morning, your boss calling you to talk to you about something, that's not necessarily, and first thing she said, oh, are you in Dallas? I said, yeah. She said, oh, you said you were going there because there was a person that you had mentored and came from a university. I said, absolutely. Said, you must be proud. I said, absolutely, Henrietta. Very proud. But she called because on Tuesday, we've got to be in Frankfort, Kentucky. Frankfort, Kentucky is the capital. That's where the capital is located. The legislature is located in Frankfort. We've got to testify this coming Tuesday regarding our own diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. They've already asked us. I've got 35 employees that report up through my department, okay? They've already asked us for the amount of money, salaries that we pay each of those persons, what their job titles are. They've already looked at the training that we provide throughout the course of an academic year. And we're going to have to testify before the legislature. Well, we were saved last year because there were two bills that were presented in Kentucky, House Bill 9 and Senate Bill 6. And when the bills were going to be merged together for law to be made, the legislator in the House could not agree. So we dodged a bullet. But once again, I call your attention. North Carolina, Tennessee, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Utah, Idaho? I wouldn't have never thought Idaho would have been that big of a problem, okay? But those are the states, and then you see final legislation approval in the other states. We are in, quite frankly, a battle to change and move our country forward. But this is what I wanted you to see when we talk about networking and connecting. This is a summary of the world. If the world were a village of 100 people, okay? Now, there's 8 billion people in the world, by the way, just in case y'all need some numbers. 8 billion people in the world. But if the world were a village of 100 people, this is what the world would look like. 61 of that village, 61 would be Asian. 20 would be Chinese, 17 would be Indian. Here's the point. Only 5 are from North America, U.S. and Canada. Only 5. You know how America think we the big honcho, mancho, we the big cheese? That's the world. We're only 5. Okay? Continue to look at the list. 9 would be from Latin or South America. 11 would be European. 14 would be African. And men, look up. 52 would be female and 48 would be male. Huh? Y'all hear that, brother? Just in case. All right. See how these numbers are going now, okay? And then look at the religions. 31 would be Christian, 21 Muslim, and you can read the list as it goes on. I show you this because when we talk about diversity and globalization, this is what we're talking about. This is true globalization. So when Tom Friedman wrote his book, The World is Flat, this is what he's talking about. Because of technology, the world is no longer isolated by borders and boundaries, okay? The bottom line is this is the world that we're living in, we're raising our children in. This is the world that we're helping to build. Now, here's where we're at as we look at this. How do we take that world, take this conversation that we've had this morning, beautiful conversation, the pushback, the mental health challenges, how do we support each other? The sign, oh, I want to see it. Networking, mentorship, partnership. How do we bring to being in this present upside down, turbulent world where some days you may not feel like getting up, where some days it might be a little more challenging than others. And so when we talk about building relationships for support, and you all are very familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and the only reason I put this up here is because all of us need support. Psychological, emotional. I heard you all talking about it in your panel discussion. Beautiful discussion. We need love, belonging, self-esteem, self-actualization. This is a need, these are needs that we all have. And while we're going through this kind of upside down, turbulent world, the one question we should ask ourselves, and you all kind of came right to it, is who is in your posse? Come on, y'all. Who's in your posse? Who's in your posse? Okay? Sometimes family can't even be in your posse. Nah, come on now. Don't act like y'all don't know what I'm talking about. I got some of the craziest uncles in the world. I wouldn't listen to them. You understand what I'm saying? Some aunts that don't make too much sense. But then I got something to do. I count them as part of my posse, a couple of them. But who's in your posse? Part of what I love about this program, Henrietta, William, all of you who displayed talent this morning, this afternoon, part of what I love is that you're building your posse. You're building your posse. Huh? Your posse doesn't necessarily have to mean somebody that you even know now. Your posse you may not know until next week. Somebody talked about dreams and thoughts and ideas as they were having the discussion that we may have. We may not have the money, but we got the idea. Huh? And you may not know what posse member you're going to connect with today, but next week, you done connected with somebody, the idea comes to fruition. Who's in your posse? Who can you reach out to? Henrietta, you gave a great example of a board of directors. I've had some of my friends who've said the same thing. They have a board of directors in their life that spans every area. So if they get in trouble over here, they know who they can call over here. Huh? Who's in your posse? And you need posse members now more than ever. You need support now more than ever. And men, y'all need it too. Come on. Men need it too. And men have to get out of this idea that I'm going to run this battle, I'm going to run this race alone. Because you can't do it alone by yourself anymore. You need partners that think like you, want the same desires with you. Don't just run with anybody, men, now, okay? Because some folk get you off in trouble, okay? You wind up losing wives sometimes if you run with the wrong. Come on, y'all can give it a little laugh. Come on. Make sure you're running with the right posse now, okay? But we need people around us to support us and who we can support. Because it has to be a two-way street. What I'm saying to all of us this afternoon, throughout this whole beautiful session, which once again I want to just echo has been magnificent and has made me so proud to see the results of students that you've worked with, and they go on and build bigger and better things. That's what education, by the way, is all about. That's what education is all about. I wouldn't be here if somebody didn't put me on their shoulders, and when I almost slipped off, picked me back up. putting me back on their shoulders. And as I see my timekeeper back there looking at that watch, okay, I'm going to close this down by saying, God is good, and so are you. God bless.
Okay, timekeeper, event manager, what's next? Because I'm a little discombobulated, okay? No, I'm serious. Where are we going from here? Like, I was so engaged, I didn't want him to sit down. Oh, Lord, now we fixing to get even more discombobulated because guess who's coming up? Brittany and Dee. Those of you who didn't get the opportunity to experience this beautiful psalmist earlier, she can sing, y'all, her and Dee. And both of you have albums. His is already released. His is coming. Yours is coming. So please, y'all want to put y'all Instagram and, okay, when you sing, please make sure you put, so we can follow you, okay? That's part of networking too, and a big part of what Chosen G is. So we want to make sure that we're supporting each other, following each other. Okay, y'all ready? All right.
We're getting there. How's everybody doing? Thank you all for being here. We really appreciate the opportunity, Henrietta. Thank you for calling on us, and we are always here to support Henrietta and the Chosen G. It's definitely an honor to be here. And so we're gonna sing and finish this program out for you all. So if you know the songs, join in with us, all right?
Come on and put your hands together like this here. Hey, y'all know this. Do you remember the 21st night of September? Love was changing the minds of pretenders while chasing the clouds away. Our hearts were ringing and the key that our souls were singing as we danced through the night. Remember how the love was here to stay. Let's go. My thoughts are with you, holding hands with your heart to see you. Only blue talking love. Remember how we knew love was here to stay. Now December found love we shared in September. Only blue talking love, remember the true love we shared today. Party, say do you remember? Party, dancing in September. Party, and that was a cloudy day. Party, 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 party. Party, 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 yeah. Oh, the bells were ringing, our souls were singing, yeah. Do you remember another cloudy day? Oh, ha, 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 party, say do you remember?
We're having a good time here today.
Strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song. I heard he sang a good song. I heard he had a style, and so I came to see him and listen for a while. And there he was, this young boy, stranger to my eyes, strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, felt he found my letters and read each one aloud. I prayed that he would finish, but he just kept right on, strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song.
Let's go, let me hear you say it.
Strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song. Come on, Emery.
Hey, let's go. We're gonna do one more song. This is an original song. It's called Good Time. That's what we're doing right now, so let's keep it going. Listen, you gotta stay woke, yeah. 'Cause if you think that they ain't scheming, they be dreaming. No, we can't stay broke, no. So we gonna have to look out for each other. You're my sister, I'm your brother. There's always work to do. Sometimes we get weary. We gon' keep on pressing till we're through, until the work is done. But when the weekend comes, we gon' have a good time. Hey, yeah. We gon' have a good time. Let's go. Listen, if you look around, you will see all the reasons we still got to stay happy.
Stay happy.
I got you, and you know you got me.
You got me.
And together we gon' set this whole world free. Oh, there's always work to do. Sometimes we get weary. We gon' keep on pressing till we're through. Till the weekend comes, when the weekend comes. Come on, say it.
I gotta get back focused and host, I guess, after y'all made me cut up. Y'all, thank y'all so much for coming. Henrietta, you did it. This was absolutely the most perfect event. I don't think anything needed to be different, could have been different. This was just absolutely perfect. So make sure y'all exchange cards, numbers, social media. We have a few more minutes, not, how long? About 30, 45 minutes, maybe. I don't want to give y'all a time because she'll fuss at me. But network, get to know each other, connect, exchange, and find ways to support and build a posse. Build your posse. You can build your posse here, as Mr. Gill said. I want to thank our sponsors again. I do not have the list in front of me. Can I? Our sponsors, Shake Shack, Sam's Club, Nothing Bundt Cakes, Cheddar's, Raising Cane's, and Costco. Thank you for our sponsors. I'm going to pass the mic to Ms. Henrietta for final remarks.
Thank you, thank you. What an amazing time. This was so good. I was nervous. Were y'all able to tell? That was no? Oh, man. I was really nervous. This has been a dream come true. Thank you, everybody, literally everyone, for being part of this journey. This is just the beginning. Actually, Don, my creative director there, when he did the first video, he said, oh, you're going to grow. And if Don said it last year that I'm going to grow, I have faith that this is going to go higher from here. I just want to use this opportunity to thank everyone. Brandy Nelson, my event producer. Everyone, let's give her a round of applause for Brandy Nelson. Brandy, can you please lift your hand so everybody know who you are? Thank you. Don Lee, he's the creative director, y'all. This looks put together. Trust me, I don't do media. He's the one. And Vivek for doing everything. The online streaming was great. Thank you so, so much. Brittany and Dee and the entire team. You guys, they drove from New Mexico. You're talking about power of connections. They drove from New Mexico to make sure that this is a success. I said it right, New Mexico. Okay, just wanted to make sure. And then they brought their own connections. This was amazing. And I also want to thank my better half. He's sitting right there, Shaq. He's been super support. Oh, come on, honey. Everybody wants to see you. Say hello. Thank you so, so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Queen, for coming. Thank you, Ajubi, for coming. Where's Ben? Thank you, Ben, wherever you are. Thank you, every single one. You guys have made this world amazing. Oh, thank you, Ruthie. Thank you, Ariel. Oh, wait, our MC. Thank you. You were absolutely phenomenal. You can tell she's a natural, right? But well, before she was like, I don't know what to do, Henrietta. She's a natural. Please book her for your future events because she hyped the room and she did an amazing work. But I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. Oh, my mentor, my other mentor, woman of God, Anita, thank you. Came all the way from Virginia. Thank you so much. We have UK in the house, y'all. Miss Ruthie, ERN, came all the way from the UK. Not because of me, but it's because he saw the God in me. Because I have nothing to offer any of you here, but I have God to offer because I am an example of what God can do. In fact, the scripture that was based for this organization is 1 Peter 2:9. It says, you are a chosen generation. You are a holy nation, a peculiar people. When people tell you you're weird, accept it. It's a blessing. Why? Because we've been called to praise the one who brought us out of darkness. People may see you and think you have darkness with your trauma, with your experiences, but God chose you because you are going to transform someone's life. So if anything, if you didn't take anything, remember that we're making connections and building the future. We're intentional about everything. I'm intentional about everything that you see here. I don't take anything for granted because someone was intentional in my life and that's where I am here. So be intentional when you go out there. Be intentional in your actions and everything that you do. And it might seem little today. I'm sure Dr. Gill didn't think 12 years later. I'm talking this. Dr. Gill, do you remember when we went to one of these conferences and I was choking on my food? This is how bad it was. I was, and everybody was laughing, but he didn't care. Why? He saw something. Now, I don't think he knew that it was going to take 12 years. Or Dr. Gitiora, when she met me, she said, you belong on the stage. I said, this woman, I don't know you from nowhere. How do you know I belong on the stage? That's what you need. It might be a little seed. It might take 5 years. It might take 20 years. It doesn't matter. You're planting a seed to build the future. Don't leave it up to our legislators or people you think can do. It is you. You and I are building the future. So be intentional when you're making your connections. Each and every single one of us matter. This whole room is filled with stories. If I were to give the mic, all of y'all would see that we are all literally connected because I got to connect with other people through one person that I knew. This whole event came through because of one person that I knew, and we talked about her daughter's hair. That's what God can do. So I just want to say thank you very much. Thank you to everyone that is watching me. You guys, I have a very nice friend who made me understand what I'm doing. She's watching from Italy. Lucia, ciao. Thank you so much. Because she reminded me that good people still exist. Okay? Don't look in the bad in people. Like what Karen said, it's so easy to pinpoint the bad. But point out the good. Even if it's little, point out the good. Because you may never know what miracles they're going to bring. On that note, I don't have anything else to say. I'll give it back to Ariel. But congratulations, y'all. Chosen G's launch. Woo! I'm done.
Oh, sorry, this wasn't planned, but I'm just going to say this. Come back up here, Henrietta. It was just on my spirit. This is a true example of stepping out on faith. I will see Ariel. Hey, girl. I will see Henrietta every day because our children go to the same school. And she would just share with me, I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know how I'm going to do this. God keeps telling me to do this. What am I going to do? And watching her literally not knowing what was going to happen and took the first step. She quit her job to follow God's and to be obedient. But when you are obedient, it brings God's blessings. So listen to whatever God is telling you to do. Do not let the enemy, and sometimes it's not even the enemy, it's ourselves, telling yourself, I can't do it, I don't have the money, I don't know how we're going to do it. If you know without a shadow of doubt in your spirit, God is leading you to something, do it. Because this is an example of where God is taking her, and it's an entire organization and the people that are tied to it. He is going to use her to bring blessings to others because she was obedient. So take this as an example. Congratulations on this launch. We've been talking about this for over a year. You did it. It's here. Now you got to get to work. Now you got to get to work. I love you. I love you. Okay, Ariel, here you go, ma'am.
Get to work, Henrietta. Okay, guys, I'm just going to pray us out really quickly, but I want to still encourage everyone, kind of linger around a little while. I'm sure our timekeeper will let you know when it's time to vacate, but make sure that you all connect. Father God, we come before you today at the end of this beautiful event, and we just thank you for everything that went forth today. We thank you for every seed that was sown. We thank you, God, that you are going to do the watering. We thank you that we are already called because we are a chosen generation. We are going to bear good fruit, much fruit for the next generation. We thank you for every speaker. We thank you for every attendant. We thank you for everyone that was online. We thank you for every voice here today. Everyone that was a presence made an meaningful impact. We thank you, Lord, for our founder, for her yes. You said that obedience is better than sacrifice, and we thank you for her obedience. We thank you, Lord, for the torch that we carry, for every purpose, our purpose for every gift, every talent, every skill that we have. And God, we even thank you for some of the deficits that we have, some of the flaws that we have, because we know that with developing a better posse and building better relationships, some of those things can be worked out as well. We thank you, Lord, for the path that you will have us to take. Illuminate that path before us, God, and order our steps. Make every step that we take moving forward stable. In Jesus' name, amen.